Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey, everyone, welcome to the show. So a special prosecutor has been requested to oversee an investigation into potential election crimes. This is in regard to the 2020 election. And as usual, it involves potential election crimes committed by a Republican who's running around alleging that Democrats committed election fraud. So here's the deal, and here's why this requires a special prosecutor. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is running for re-election, and her Republican opponent, Matthew DePerno, has now been named as one of 9 people suspected of gaining unauthorized access to voting machines and also tampering with those voting machines following the 2020 election. And according to a petition that was filed by AG Nessel, DePerno was, quote, one of the prime instigators involved in a conspiracy to access the machines illegally. Others involved in this alleged scheme included Republican Michigan State Representative, a person named Dare Rendon. He was also involved in one of the Trump fake elector plots, and a county sheriff was also involved, a man named Dar Leaf, who also started his own election fraud investigation after he drank Mike Lindell's Kool-Aid. And DePerno's legal partner, a woman named Stephanie Lambert, is accused of helping DePerno with this voting machine plot. The AG stated in the filing that DePerno and Lambert, quote, orchestrated a coordinated plan to gain access to voting equipment in 4 different Michigan communities. And it says that DePerno was present in a hotel room where there was a group of 4 men who broke into voting tabulators and then performed tests on them. And if his partner's name sounds familiar, it's because she was one of the numerous attorneys, including Sidney Powell, who was sanctioned by a federal judge for filing a frivolous lawsuit related to the 2020 election. So judges have already looked at this and said, this is all BS. You have no evidence. This was a frivolous lawsuit, and you're now going to pay because of it. DePerno, of course, is endorsed by Trump because, he's been peddling Trump's election fraud lies. And DePerno's fabrications about election fraud were even included in that batshit crazy order that Trump gave, the written order to seize voting machines when he wanted the military to seize voting machines throughout the US. DePerno is, of course, denying the allegations against him. His spokesperson is saying that this is all political. She's just targeting her political opponent, and she's just doing this because she knows she's going to lose the election. But this matter has been under investigation since last year, since 2021. And they had no idea at that time that it was going to lead back to DePerno or that he was going to be the Republican nominee. And back in June, it was reported that the Michigan State Police had seized voting equipment and also election records in at least 3 towns and 1 county over the preceding 6 weeks. And Reuters news outlet reported that this was just one of 17 nationwide cases, and 11 of the cases were in Michigan. And what they found so far is pretty remarkable. So, for example, investigators say that one county official admitted that in early 2021, he handed over 2 vote counting tabulators, and he gave these tabulators to unauthorized and unidentified third parties. He didn't even know who these people were. And this third party apparently kept the tabulators for several weeks. And then a county clerk also admitted that she gave her election equipment to other unauthorized individuals. So in February of this year, the Secretary of State, who had been hearing all of these rumors and looking into this matter, she turned it over to the state AG and she asked them to open up a criminal investigation. And so that's what they did. Now, what's crazy is that in each of the areas where these unauthorized breaches occurred, Trump won. So these lunatics believe that, oh, he should have won by a larger margin. So they were literally willing to risk felony charges and going to prison just to prove that Trump won by more. Because if these allegations are proven, if these people are convicted of the crime of which they're accused, this is a felony. It's punishable by up to 5 years in prison. And, if they prove that this was all coordinated, this was like a large conspiracy, it's going to get much worse for them. So far, the evidence is pretty damning. The investigators say that some of the security seals on some of the machines show clear evidence of tampering. And in Nessel's report, it states that at one point, this DePerno guy sent a subpoena. He sent it to, I think it was Verizon, to gather more details about some of these tabulators. His subpoena included modem ID numbers for 3 of these tabulators. And according to the manufacturer of the machine, those ID numbers can't be obtained by looking at the outside of the machine. The manufacturer said that you have to break the security seal and remove the outer panels. So clear evidence. And like I said, DePerno, he's running to be the AG of the state. So here we have yet another attorney needing to hire a criminal defense attorney because he's so naive or so power hungry or both that he fell for Donald Trump's lies. I would say it's the latter. But, actually, I should say there's 2 attorneys now who look like they're going to need defense attorneys because looks like his law partner is going to go down with him. And here's the thing. Here's why I say it's the latter. It's more that he wants power, this DePerno guy. People like DePerno and this situation proves that there was no election fraud and that nothing was stolen from Trump. DePerno and many others got a hold of these machines and this equipment, and they had access to these machines early in 2021, over a year ago, like over a year and a half ago. So where's the evidence? They had their so-called experts reviewing all of this stuff. So where's the proof that the election was stolen? This DePerno guy is still running around spewing election denier bullshit out of his pie hole, but he's produced nothing to back up his allegations. If after all of this access, he still couldn't find anything, then how does anyone with half a brain continue to believe this bullshit? Trump was a shitty candidate, just like Hillary was a shitty candidate in 2016. Facts don't care about your feelings, remember? So this guy knows. This guy clearly knows that what he's saying is a lie, and he's continuing to say it, and he's running on it to become the top cop in the state. Just like Ken Paxton down in Texas, who has been under indictment for years, literally, and nobody can do anything about it because he is the AG. He's the Attorney General of Texas. So if this guy was to win in November and become the state Attorney General, no one will be able to stop him, and nobody will be able to prosecute him for his crimes unless the Department of Justice wants to step in on a federal level. This guy should be losing his license, not becoming an Attorney General of a state. Anyway, guys, I'll let you know when and if I hear more. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.